So picture this. You wake up, and before your feet even hit the floor, you're already completely exhausted. Your body feels heavy, your motivation is just gone, and literally, even the simplest tasks feel like a mountain to climb. You probably tell yourself, man, I just need a vacation. But then you take one, and a few weeks later, that exact same exhaustion is right back. Well, in today's Explainer, we're diving into the fascinating biological mystery behind why feeling so completely drained is actually not your fault at all. It's actually a massive biological mismatch.
I mean, we've all been there, right? Feeling totally unmotivated even after taking time off, and desperately wondering, why does the exhaustion always come back? It is such a common cycle for us today. We try to patch it up with extra coffee, maybe sleeping in, or a long weekend away. But the root cause? It's way deeper than just missing a few hours of sleep.
Here is the absolute craziest part. You are not lazy. You are overloaded. Seriously, you aren't broken. Your brain just simply was not designed for the endless, invisible pressures of the world we live in right now. You are essentially running ancient biological hardware in a completely alien environment.
All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the evolutionary mismatch.
Think about it like this. For almost all of human history, stress was a temporary reaction to physical danger. Imagine you're living 50,000 years ago, walking through the woods, and suddenly, boom, a tiger pops out. Your heart races, your muscles tense up, and you run for your life. But within minutes, that danger's over, and your nervous system just switches off. Today, though, you're facing invisible threats that never actually leave. Instead of one literal tiger, you're dodging hundreds of invisible tigers every single day. We're talking looming deadlines, crazy financial pressure, gridlock traffic, notifications endlessly vibrating in your pocket, an absolute flood of emails, and of course, constant social comparison. Your brain reacts to every single one of these modern stressors as if your actual survival is on the line. And because these triggers literally never stop, the perceived danger never ends. You get trapped in a constant state of fight or flight. Which brings us nicely to Section 2, your ancient alarm system. Let's look deep inside the human brain to understand this intense reaction. Way deep down inside your brain is this tiny little structure called the amygdala. Think of it as your body's primal survival alarm. Its one and only job is to detect threats and keep you alive. But here is the major flaw for us modern humans. It doesn't really know the difference between physical danger and psychological pressure. It treats an angry boss exactly the same way it treats a hungry predator. It's a completely outdated alarm system that literally cannot tell a real tiger from a highly stressful Zoom meeting. And we see this play out socially too. Thousands of years ago, if you were rejected by your tribe, that meant certain death. You just couldn't survive alone in the wild. That is exactly why today getting a critical email or a negative comment online sets off this massive life-or-death nervous system reaction. Your ancient brain is screaming that your safety in the group is gone, even if that so-called threat is just some random stranger on the internet. So, what happens when this ancient alarm meets our 24/7 world? That's Section 3, the modern dopamine trap. You are safe now. That is the vital missing signal in our lives today. You see, our ancestors had really clear endings to their days. When the sun went down, the work was basically over, and they could truly rest. But since your smartphone never sleeps and your entire office is literally right there in your pocket, your brain never gets that all-clear message. Without that signal, your nervous system just stays buzzing, day after day, week after week. And there's a whole other layer to this trap, too. Every ping, every like, every message, every new short-form video. Instead of winding down, you get sucked into a loop where apps constantly hijack your brain's reward system with these tiny artificial dopamine hits. Back in the day, finding something super valuable, like a big source of food, gave us dopamine so we'd survive. Today, digital algorithms are exploiting that exact same biological reward circuit. Because your ancient brain simply was not built to resist unlimited on-demand rewards. You just keep checking your phone, even when you're dead tired. Listen, it's not a lack of willpower on your part. It's a literal biological hijack, and it leads straight to totally fragmented attention and a kind of mental fatigue that just keeps growing. Your mind honestly never gets a real chance to power down. Let's look at what that constant activation does to you in Section 4, your brain in power-saving mode. So this answers the big question we've all asked. Why doesn't a weekend off actually fix burnout? You think 2 days on the couch would sort you out, but it almost never does. Why? Because burnout isn't just you being physically tired. It's not about needing a quick nap. It is actually a deep, structural, neurological defense mechanism.
Basically, when your stress system is jammed in the on position for months, your brain takes drastic measures. It forcefully enters a power-saving mode. It starts hoarding energy, severely dropping your motivation, and totally limiting your focus. Even hobbies you used to love just stop feeling fun. Your brain is reacting exactly the same way your smartphone does when it drops to 10% battery. It shuts down the background apps to keep the core system running.
And that leads us to the ultimate paradox of burnout. The exhaustion you're constantly fighting against is actually your brain trying to keep you alive. It is purposely slamming on the brakes because it mistakenly thinks your resources are totally depleted. It's doing absolutely everything in its power to protect you from an environment it perceives as an endless, life-threatening situation.
All right, so how do we fix it? Let's get into Section 5, calming your ancient brain.
Look, we obviously can't undo millions of years of evolution, but we absolutely can learn to work with our biology instead of constantly fighting it. We can actually protect our nervous systems using 4 really specific, actionable steps: creating clear endings, immersing ourselves in nature, fiercely protecting our focus, and prioritizing real, actual recovery. Let's break those down. First up, clear endings. When work is done, let it actually be done. Stop checking those late-night emails. You have to give your brain the literal signal that it's safe to power down. Second, go outside. Your brain evolved surrounded by trees and dirt, not drywall and glowing blue screens. Even just a 10-minute walk outside in nature acts as a massive biological reset button for your nervous system. Third, you've got to protect your uninterrupted focus. Our ancestors survived by doing one critical task at a time. Your brain just gets fried by constant multitasking. And finally, prioritize real recovery. I'm talking about sleep, moving your body, having actual meaningful conversations, and finding quiet moments. Stop treating these like optional weekend luxuries. They are absolute biological necessities. We live in a society that basically expects you to be a flawless productivity machine, demanding constant 24/7 connection and hustle. But here's the reality. Human biology demands cycles. Hard effort followed by profound rest. You simply do not need to be productive every single second of the day. Pushing through and ignoring rest isn't a flex. It's literally fighting against your own evolutionary biology. As we wrap up this explainer, if you take one single thing away, let it be this: burnout is not proof that you are weak. It's proof that your ancient brain is just trying its best to survive in a world it was never built for. Your exhaustion is a biological mismatch, not some personal failure. The modern world demands constant connection, but hey, your mind is still playing by ancient rules. So respect your limits, protect your energy. Your brain was designed to help you live, not just to work and pay bills. The strongest people out there aren't the ones who never take a break. They're the ones who realize that real recovery is the secret to survival. So I'll leave you with this. Are you actually giving your ancient brain the safety it needs to live? Or are you just surviving the daily grind?